Chicago area, and I'm from the team, the EVC team of Yue Mei Ding. We call ourselves the Trailblazers. And the topic I'm going to give tonight is actually, so as you see here, it's evaluating business models, maybe more like a in-depth look of a business models. And the purpose of me doing this topic is because I think whether you're new or old associates, when we do the prospecting, when we share to our friends about this business, we always encounter different objections. And I think one of the most common objection is actually is this one of those things? Is this a pyramid scheme or a multi-level marketing company or something like that, right? So today, I'm actually going to give some the background information on some of the key business models that's out there. And also a little background about myself. So I've been doing this business. This is my 6th year. So before WFG, I was in the IT industry. And also, while working full-time at IT, I was also doing part-time businesses in a real estate brokerage. And also, I was a loan officer for about five years. So I've had my share of different, working in different business models. So let's get to some of the general questions. First question, what is a true business? That's actually an interesting question because I find most people don't know the correct answer to that. Most people think that as long as they don't work for someone, they don't have a boss and they're in business. But if you've read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, which that's the book I've read when I was in college, it actually tells you the key difference between a true business and just a mom and dad shop. Right? And also, what are the models out there? And I'm also going to cover a little bit about what is a pyramid scheme. People keep saying pyramids, and what is a MLM? So and also is WFG an MLM? The question, some says yes, some says no. And then why cannot we create our own copycat? Why can't we start our own group, our own company by using the same model, that WFG? So let's go to the first question, the true business, right? So if you read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, or if you have gone through our BPM corporate overview, you probably have seen this slide. Right? So there are four, this is called the cash flow quadrant. There are 4 types of people in the world. On the left side, there's the corporate employee and the self-employed. So I'm not going to get in details of in this, but so as you see, for the first quadrant, employees have a job. The self-employed, so once they step out of the job, they become their own boss, or so they think they own a job. But in most time, in most occasions, people who are self-employed actually is the job owns them, or their a business owns them. So on the right side, so actually the difference between the right side and the left side is actually time, the active time that you put in exchange for earned income. So on the left side, your income is mostly earned. On the right side, the money comes in. It really doesn't have much to do with how much time you actually spend on the business or the investment. So, but for the sake of tonight's training, I'm going to focus on quadrant 2 and quadrant 3. So quadrant 2 is self-employed and quadrant 3 is business owner. And actually, there's a lot of similarities between these two quadrants because they all have to start from scratch, right? So, for self-employed, you obviously have to put in a lot of hard work. So we know, if you look around the self-employed people around us, we see, from your ordinary neighborhood baker, restaurants, laundromats, and then if you want to get, then maybe also your lawyers, realtors, doctors, right? They're all self-employed. They have to put in the hard work. There's no getting around that. And most of them work long hours if they want to make the money. And also, if you're self-employed, you have to get used to working without getting paid at first. And then also, because self-employed is you're starting a business. I'm not saying it's a true business, but you're starting a business, so you have to put in a lot of time, capital, energy, and most importantly, money, right? And also, in order to gain more clients or to bring in more businesses, you have to work on your marketing strategies, right? And then maybe once you get big, you can hire some assistants and do some of the mundane tasks so that you can free up so that the hours and work on what is truly important for your business. So really, self-employed. And then if you look on the right side, the true business, if you want to own a business, you got to start from self-employment. So basically it's the same thing. So a business is not a true business until you can get to the point that you're getting paid when you're not working. But for most people, what we call business owners, they just get stuck on the self-employed side. So in order to jump to a way to get paid, which is also this income is called passive income or residual income. So in order to get that income, they need a system to move from self-employed to business, to a true business. Okay, so let's look at some of the different business models that's in the service industry out there. So first of all, there's the me model, which I just pretty much described. It's the self-employment model. So basically, you're in charge of everything. And then there's the agency model, which applies to if you're whether it's the real estate brokerage or the mortgage broker, or you're like an insurance agency, financial advisor firm. So those are pretty common. And then there is the multi-level marketing model, in which is also the very controversial thing. That's whenever you bring this up, or whenever you bring something that looks like MLM up, people get all kinds of like reactions, and most of them aren't positive. Okay, so obviously I just talked about the me model, the self-employment model. So I'm going to talk about the agency model. So this models apply to most real estate brokerage or a mortgage broker, as I said, and also in the financial services field. And so how this model works is typical real estate brokers, you have a managed broker. So you have the guy who owns the firm, the broker that so they have their own firm. So now this broker, he or she can choose to work as a self-employed person, as a me model. So I've seen a lot of brokers doing that. Even though they've spent the money and the time to get a get a broker license and pass the managing broker test. I think it's called. I mean, it's called differently in different states, right? So and a lot of them, even though they have the ability to hire people, they actually don't. So I'm going to get to that a little bit later. Just let's see. Let's say if this person, this agency, this brokerage, this brokerage has so this person hired a few agents. So each new agent comes in, so he or she has to pay for the licensing. As far as I know, there is no real estate brokers that actually pay for anything. Okay, so you have to pay for your own license. You have to pay the affiliated membership fee. So for real estate, so if you have if you have ever looked at a house before online before, you know there's a system called multiple listing services, which short is MLS, right? So in order to get on the MLS, you have to pay a membership fee. So that's very high, actually. And then you have to pay for all the supplies, all the gas that you drive around, right? And also in some firms, they charge you desk fees, which is translated into maybe monthly rental fees. For the floor fees, some firms call it. Basically, it's just a form of being in the company. And then most important of all, and how they're getting paid. And so there are actually two types of the compensation system. One is by merit, right? So if you're doing very well, if you earned your place in the company, the broker's going to give you, maybe most brokers starts with 50% or 60%. If you get higher and higher, you'll eventually get to maybe, I know some firms gives you 90% or 95%. And then also there are other firms I know that maybe I think is Century 21 that gives you by tier, which is so from January 1st to December 31st in 2017. So maybe the first $2 billion in homes sold, you're only going to get paid maybe 60%. But anything above 2 or 3 million is actually it's actually all yours. So I mean there are different ways. So what I'm saying is, so as an agent that starts in the real estate brokerage, you still have to pay a lot of stuff. Sometimes you have to pay even more than what the WFG associate would have to pay. For sure, that is, I actually know that for sure. And then also the contract, it's not. I mean, it's you still have to split with someone who is above you. So, okay, then the same thing goes with a mortgage broker. And then let's look at maybe the traditional companies in the field, right? So this is the typical maybe like a big insurance agency. I'm talking about MetLife, New York Life, or Mass Mutual. So same thing, they have the corporate, right? Some of these companies are public, some of these companies are what they call the mutually owned, but anyway, they have corporate interest. So that means maybe some of these companies, they can pay for their branches, and also maybe they can open a location, they're paying for the rents and everything. So they have managers, right? They have managers, and also if you want to start in one of these firms as a agent, you still have to pay for your own license and fees. and also pay for your own expenses. You'll have to pay for the desk fees. They may word it differently. So from what my understanding of a lot of the agents in these companies is their commission level. Maybe some companies will let them start at 40%, maybe 50%, but they'll just stay there. So there's no advancement, maybe to 60 or 70, right? So also however they pay out their commission is also by merit or by tier. So let's look at the managers. So managers. So once a agent does well, and he or she gets promoted into as a manager. For some company, they call it partners. So if this company is a mutually owned company, they call it partners. So which sounds very good, right? So basically, the partner still gets paid by the performance of the group of the agents that's inside his or her group. And one of the key traits of these companies is whether or not you're a agent or a manager / partner, you still have to need to meet a quota. So that means so if someone say I want to join the financial service industry, but I don't have sales experience, I don't think I can do very well the first year. What should I do? Well, in most cases, you're probably if you join one of these firms, you're going to be out of the door by 3 or 6 months, right? So that's why in the traditional financial industry, the turnover rate is almost 90%. I have a friend who works for Morgan Stanley. She was a very top advisor for the firm for 3 years. But she told me each month she has to bring in about $500,000 of AUM, which is asset under management. And if she doesn't do that within 3 months, I mean, if she fails to meet that target 3 months in a row, she's in trouble. So because of this high pressured sales environment, she calls it dog eat dog world. So there's a lot of shady things going on in the company, and also I think for different advisors that have different rules. So for her advisor to the firm, if she brings a really big client, she actually couldn't be the advisor for that client. She has to give that business up to the manager, and she actually does not get paid for it. So that's how these firms work. So as a result, even though she was a very top advisor or rising star with the firm, she quit after 3 years, and she swore she would never step into financial services field again. So it's kind of it's a pity because she was in there, she got hurt by it. So as WFG associates, we actually. So I kind of wish if I had gotten to her sooner, maybe she would know she would have a different view of the industry, because there are still good people here. So anyway, and also one problem with these firms is like MetLife, New York Life, their products, it's like captive. So if you sat down for 2 hours with a MetLife advisor, it doesn't really matter how knowledgeable he or she is. At the end of the line, the only thing he or she can come up with is, so maybe it's a whole life policy from MetLife, or it's whatever they're selling. Maybe it's a long-term care only a policy. So if you want to ask for their opinion of the IUL, say from Transamerica, from Pacific Life, from Nationwide, they actually wouldn't be able to tell you much because they don't work with these firms. Okay, so moving forward, and also there's a different types of financial services companies. So the one I talked in here is actually one of the bigger names, but here is actually maybe someone who's been in the field, been in the firm for a very long time, and he or she wants to start his or her own a business, right? So this is when someone, they actually, they would tell me, well, WFG pays way too low because your top contract is 65. In our company, we can get easily 85%, or even on some policies we can get paid 140. So because the reason that they can get paid higher is because they're in direct contract the relationship with these firms. So, well, yes, the high contract level is very attractive. It sounds like a good thing, right? It may not always be the case. So, same thing here. If you want to work for these firms, you still have to pay for your own costs. You still have to pay for everything you spend. You still have to pay maybe chip in each month for the rent for most firms. And you may get to pay on a higher level, but also if that there is a price to pay for that because you still have to meet the quotas. So basically, and then also if you're not if you're an agent with this firm, it's impossible for you to move up. And then, so if you're a agent to work for this firm, the only model that you can go is actually the self-employed. So which is what we actually see for the most people that's working in the financial services around us. Okay, so actually, during my past 5 years of WFG experience, there's a lot of people who's, there are some of my friends who heard of BPM. They listen to Rocky talk, or they listen to Sunny talk, or somebody even higher up. They always tell me, so Xiao, you're why do you have to work under Rocky or Swan Lin or whoever? Why can't you just start a firm, right? It sounds, because I had 2 or 3 people. Some of them even have joined a business for a while. They asked me the question. So so one day I just say, let me find out how if I were to start a firm like the WFG, how would I start it? So for those of you who don't know it already, WFG is actually a general agency. So it's kind of like the firm here. So so basically it's a broker. We can find carriers or brokers to work with. I'm sorry, carriers or providers to work with. So we're a broker. So let's look at here. So if you were to start an independent insurance agency, we can just go down the line. So from scratch can be difficult and complex. So if you look at here, let's see if we can draw on this. The insurance companies are going to demand a business plan. right? And how is doing business with you going to be profitable in the long term? So insurance companies are going to have all these questions. They're going to have to vet you. So why would they let you, a new firm, to move their policy, their plans? And also, if you look at here, you can conservatively estimate needing financial resources in the amount of 20,000 that can be varied based upon location. So if you want to start independent insurance agency, not only you have to have some capital to actually start with. Personally, I think 20,000 is a very low number because a lot of firms I know, they need 35 grand or 50 grand just to start a new GA. And also, you have to worry about office space, equipment, IT, infrastructure, furniture, and also need so just as you have to pay E&O in WFG, they have to pay E&O too, and much more. Okay, so this is actually what it looks like. Right, and also the list is getting started. Explanation, distribution methods, so you have to pass the vetting process of these companies. So let's say if I want to start a company that I want to sell a nationwide products, right? So you have to get licensed. You have to create a business. You have to prepare the agency for company appointment. You got to tell them how to attract markets. I don't think they would just fall for anything that you tell them. Maybe you have to show something solid, right? So there's a lot of stuff. So for someone like me who hates all these little details, I probably wouldn't do that, right? So and then I think the key is prepare your agency for a carrier appointment. Right? And getting an appointment with a carrier usually requires experience in the business, a proven track record of selling and marketing in a geographically a desirable marketing territory. So in other words, if you want to start your general agency, let's say if you live in New York, in Queens, I'm sure there's tons of financial agents already there. So if you want to start there, chances are that the carrier wouldn't get approved because they say we already have somebody selling this here, right? And also, most importantly, you have a solid proposed business plan. So can you imagine you have to do all that just to get just to be prepared to get appointed? And then now think back, if you're licensed with WFG for carrier appointment, what do you have to go through? Just to fill out a couple of forms, right? I know some people even complain about that. Okay, so let's move forward. Okay, excuse me. I think my computer seems to get stuck. Anyway. So hang on for a second. Sorry. Okay, I apologize for that delay. As I said, I used to work in IT, so and obviously be working WSG full time for that long has diminished my IT skills. Anyway, my point is, so it takes it so it to if you want to start out on your own, it's almost impossible to actually get started if you're new, because you can see here they're requiring they need experience in the business. So it's kind of like if you're a fresh college grad, you're looking for jobs, and then jobs, they actually need a few years of work related experience. So it's kind of like a paradox here, right? So let's look at the WFG. As I said, the WFG, there's 157 active companies that's willing to work with us. And actually, by saying that they're willing to work with us is actually not entirely correct. It's actually that we're willing to work with them. Because if you look back from time to time, if you check this page from time to time, the numbers actually change. Sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down, because there are companies in this 157 in this list. They actually sometimes after reviewing, WFG actually find these companies they may not be able to suit our needs anymore, and then they drop them, right? So basically, if you were to start WFG, you're actually doing the same thing as agency, but without going through all the hassle. And also, as far as products wise, if you have not gotten the chance to go see this page, I highly recommend that you do. So, and also the biggest problems with the agency model is, is actually it's not any of the problems that I just said earlier. It's actually keeping your best people. Right, so this is why a lot of brokers I know in real estate agency brokers, they don't want to hire people because it takes time away from them doing the selling, and also the person, whoever they trained, is just gonna use them as a stepping stone to move up to either by chasing a higher contract in a different firm, or maybe by getting their own broker's license and starting their own firm, right? So basically, if you're an agent, now financial services agent, insurance agent, they have a harder time of doing that. But still, the same thing could happen. We all know that we have an EVC named Teresa Tong Wong from Vancouver. And then she was a top agent. She was a financial advisor before coming to WFG. And then I think I've heard her training a few times, and she always tells us this one story, how her one of the top selling producers just quit her firm and opened up the shop right next to her. So basically, if you're training your competitors, and not only you're training your competitors, you're training his or her future team and his or her competitors, which in turn is still yours. So actually, you may be training a infinite number of competitors, right? If you're hiring people with this model. Okay, so let's look at the last one, multi-level marketing. Because a lot of people ask, is this multi-level? Is this MLM? When I first started, I used to say, no, it's not MLM. It's because it got this, it's got that. I failed to ask the question. Actually, the correct answer to that is, do you like MLM? Positives in MLMs, right? easy to get started. There's teamwork, and the people, because of these all this mindset training that these companies give to its associates. So it actually feels good to actually, if you walk into a crowd of them, right, doing the training, and whether or not you're doing, the firm is selling vitamins or hair products or whatever, I think it's still it's a good challenge. It's a good opportunity for self-improvement. Not necessarily making money, but it's a good opportunity for self-improvement. And also for MLM, you can always start part-time. Okay, so these are some of the positives of MLM. So let's look at the negatives, the problems. Obviously, I said most of these companies, they just use this system, this model to move their own their own products. Like Amway, like I know their shampoo is selling for twice the price of something you would purchase at Costco, right, or Sam's Club. But the crazy thing is they would marketing as is the best shampoo in the world. Okay, so obviously, if you hear the word the best, as which means they're not telling the truth, and so because they have to, and also because of the products that they're selling, like a bottle of shampoo, it doesn't matter how much they can. Of course, in order to make a profit, they have to sell a lot higher, as I said, twice or three times the value. Even by overpricing, the margin is still very small, right? They sell hyped up products, small profit margin, and in turn, you have to spend a lot of money in the business without getting the same, maybe, or getting a good return. And as a matter of fact, I know most people they don't get a return. As a return, they actually get they just get a basement or a garage full of the products that they couldn't sell away. So, and actually, we also get people asking, instead of asking, is this MLM? They ask, is this a pyramid scheme? So I think and I think it's the fact that in most people's mind, there's not much difference between these two models, right? So let's look at what is a pyramid scheme. So on the left, so a pyramid scheme actually doesn't have any product or service. It promises of a high return in shorter time period, easy money or passive income, no demonstrated revenue from sales, buy-in required. I know there's pyramid schemes in China. I know they have to, they actually, you have to buy in, you have to spend a lot of money to actually buy in and have a complex commission structure. And then also all they talk about is recruiting, but without moving as anything, right? So let's look on the right. So usually when people, they say, is WFG a pyramid scheme? Then I would actually tell them, well, the pyramid scheme, well, because WFG is in the financial industry, and part of it is actually being regulated by the U.S., which is the SEC. So if you look on the SEC's website, there is actually an article about the pyramid schemes. But also, if you want to search here, you can actually find Transamerica. So as a part of these firms, right, that's under regulation. So obviously, so Transamerica is not a pyramid scheme. It still can be considered a legal firm on the SEC site. So this is actually what I actually think of the other multi-level marketing firms out there. What is their difference between pyramid schemes? So let's look at the factors of seeing of the identifying factor of a pyramid scheme. So generating so does the firm has a genuine product or services? Well, most multi-level marketing firms say they actually do. They have that, but are they well known? Are they being regulated? I don't think so. So is there a buy-in? Well, most multi-level marketing companies, they don't have a buy-in, but they also they have a form that it's a form of buy-in. They have a, because most new member, they join the company, they have to buy stuff. So it's still kind of buy-in, and they have to keep buying stuff each month. So we call it the auto ship, right? And then so are the commissions are made from the products of the company, of the services, or the recruits. So this, I think, is the most controversial factor of these MLM companies. I think for most people, but for most of these companies, they actually make, so when a new person joins one of those companies, he or she have to buy a package, they have, which is anywhere from a few $100 to $1,000. So that's whenever somebody signs up for one of those companies, it's actually a sale. And so every recruit is a mandatory sale for these companies. So in a way, these companies are a lot more closer to a pyramid scheme. Because in WFG, we all know that $100 that we paid, it doesn't go to anybody in your, it doesn't go to the person whom you join. It doesn't go to the CEO. It doesn't go to anybody, right? It's just a one-time membership fee, right? So this is actually the core difference here. So it's WFG multi-level marketing. Now, some people say it is. Some people say it's no. I would say it's similar, but no. And as a proof, I say even some of the multi-level marketing associations, these sites, they don't even think that we are. So if you want to go to these sites and search World Financial Group, you wouldn't find it. So then what is WFG? So WFG is actually a giant general agency or an advisor firm. So it really depends on what kind of license that you get. And it's backed by Aegon, one of the biggest firms in the financial industry in the world, and partner with industry's top companies. Right? And also, on a personal level, it allows everyone to become a broker agency owner, meaning you can start your own agency without having to worry about any of this stuff, the legal, accounting, business registration, carrier appointment, anything. So this is so actually the reason I thought of this topic is this one of my friends in California was getting recruited by one of those MLM firms. So I just wrote this to her, and she thought it made sense. So I turned around and posted it on Facebook. So I think so if you want to evaluate a business from a BS, what I call it, is actually, there are 4 factors. So is this going to be, it eventually turn into a true business, which means passive income? Does this business allow you to eventually walk away without affecting the money that comes in? This can be often achieved by building and running a system with team effort. So if this cannot be done, then regardless of how much you make, it's still a self-employed job. So, and also, now all the passive income, so this is all the other multi-level marketing companies talk about. But one key difference that we are, can you do it? Can you do this business alone? So if you want to do WFG with a self-employed model, can you do it? Because, of course you can. So what I mean is, if you want to run WFG as a self-employed job, you don't recruit anybody into your organization. Solely by selling your products or serving your clients, you should still be able to make a respectable or even six-figure income. So this verifies that WFG is not a recruiting for income scheme. In other words, not a MLM. And also, for true business, are you a client? So this separates our companies, because most people, when they start this company, when they start in WFG, they think, it has to do with sales. Actually, a true salesperson, I believe, would have a lot harder time to do this a business than somebody who comes in with no sales background, because we're a sharing business. We're not a sales business. We are doing join, own, share, because the products and services offered are truly beneficial, and that you yourself should be among the first clients of your business. And also, number 4, is there real money? I don't need to go very far on this topic, on this point, because there is real money. And let me tell you what actually motivated me to join the business is because I know there are people making 7 figures in this business. I know there are people making $500,000, even $250,000 in this business. But what actually draws me in is because I see somebody in the office that I was in. They were in this business for 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, and they're already making $10,000, $5,000. So that's real money. So that actually gave me more hope than just looking at the bigger cash that some of the other people makes, right? So in a way, to succeed in any business, you need to put in the hard work, the long hours, lots of money, along with the right attitude, mindset, and most important of all, a passion. So because of these four points here, most business grossly exaggerate the first point. Yeah, they have been ignoring the other 3. So especially the can you do it alone point. Okay, so actually I had more slides. I think that it was being frozen, so actually it didn't save it. But anyway, so this actually concludes my training. So I hope this actually gave everyone a more detailed look into the financial different business models. All right, and then maybe we can have because by going through that, I truly know that WFG system, the compensation model actually is right for all. If so, and there's nothing. I personally don't think there is a better system that is out there that would allow you to have the success that most people in our business would have if we just be coachable and follow the system and do it the right way. So I'm gonna conclude my training. So we have a few minutes. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And the speaker code, I'm going to put it here. It's 88 star 21924. So 88 star 21924. So I'm going to show the code on the screen here. If you have a question, feel free to dial 88 star, maybe into pause and 21924. Okay, I guess nobody has questions. That's usually a good sign, depending on how you look at it. So, just want to remind everyone here, the Vegas convention, the early bird registration fee is going to end on July 5th. It's going to end on June 15th. And I hope everyone with this new knowledge, with newly gained confidence, can go back to the field and go on the, have a great momentum going into July. And so, okay. All right. With that being said, I'm signing off. So, hello.
I have a question for you. Sorry.
Sure.
Last minute. Hello. Yeah. Hi. Thank you for sharing your experience. Just now I didn't see I just on the phone. I just opened the internet, the webinar, so I can see the slides. I want to know. You just mentioned there's a one. You just talked about over 400 financial plan on our website. Can you show me the slide where it is? Thank you.
Oh, can I show you the slide where it is, or can I show you how to get there?
Yeah. Thank you.
You wanna know how to get there?
Yeah. You mentioned because I am on the phone, I didn't see the website.
Okay, because the slide's going to be shared. The slide's going to be shared with your SMDs. But so I'm going to show really quick on how to get to the. Usually, I just log into my WFG. Can you see my screen?
Yeah. Very good.
So one of two ways. I either do the search here. I do the product guide. I usually do this. Okay. Well, it just happens that so. Okay. Well, my WFG under maintenance right now, but usually if you do it this way, it will work. So okay.
Product guide.
So just search for a product guide. Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned the over 400 financial plans over there.
Yeah, 400 over. Yeah, I don't know what the latest number is actually. So it changes actually every week.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. Does anybody else have questions? Okay. Well. All right, that's it, and have everyone have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.